I'm starting to fall in love with my wife, but I don't know how to deal with it. We got married so I could get custody of my daughter, and she could escape her abusive ex-husband. My ex-wife died in a car accident 2 years ago. My 6-year-old daughter Lucy went to live with her grandmother while I fought for custody. The problem was, I was single, working 2 jobs and living in a studio apartment. The court said I needed stable family environment to get Lucy back. That's when I met Sarah at a grief counseling group. Her husband had been abusing her for 8 years, but she couldn't afford to divorce him and start over. One night after group, we were talking in the parking lot. She mentioned how she'd love to leave her husband, but had nowhere to go and no money. I need to get married to get my daughter back, I said. You need to get married to escape your husband. We stared at each other for a minute, both realizing what that meant. This is crazy, Sarah said, but maybe it could work. We got married 3 weeks later at the courthouse. I wore my dad's old suit. She wore a dress she bought at Goodwill the night before. The judge who granted the marriage was the same one handling my custody case. 2 months later, I got Lucy back. Sarah moved into my apartment and we pretended to be a happy family for the social worker visits. Lucy loved Sarah immediately. Sarah had a way with kids that I didn't. She'd braid Lucy's hair, help with homework, make breakfast shaped like animals. Sarah got a job at the elementary school as a teacher's aide. Between my 2 jobs and her income, we could finally afford a 2-bedroom apartment. But here's where it got complicated. Sarah's ex-husband started stalking her. He'd follow her to work, show up at Lucy's school, leave threatening messages on our voicemail. One night, he broke into our apartment while I was working my night shift job. Sarah called me crying at 2 a.m. He's here. I'm locked in the bathroom with Lucy. I raced home and found police cars outside our building. Sarah's ex was in handcuffs, screaming about how Sarah was his wife and I had stolen her. That night, Lucy crawled into bed with us because she was scared. Sarah held her close, singing lullabies until Lucy fell asleep. I watched Sarah protect my daughter like she was her own, and something changed in my heart. The next morning, Sarah was making pancakes when Lucy said, "Are you my new mommy?" Sarah looked at me nervously. We'd never talked about how to handle questions like that. "What do you think?" Sarah asked Lucy gently. "I think you are. You take care of me like mommies do." Sarah started crying. Happy tears, but still tears. Later, while Lucy was watching cartoons, I asked Sarah how she was doing with everything. "I never thought I'd be someone's mom," she said, "but taking care of Lucy feels more real than anything I've ever done. And taking care of you both feels more real than anything I've ever done," I replied. That's when we both realized our fake marriage had become the most genuine relationship either of us had ever had. 6 months later, Sarah's divorce was finalized. Her ex-husband got 5 years for breaking and entering and stalking. We legally adopted each other's roles. I became Sarah's real husband, she became Lucy's real mom. But here's the part that still amazes me. Last month, Sarah told me she was pregnant. "I never thought I'd want to bring a child into this world after what I went through," she said. "But with you and Lucy, I finally feel safe enough to grow our family." We started as 2 broken people using each other to solve our problems. Now we're a real family, built on love instead of just necessity. Sometimes the best marriages aren't the ones that start with love. They're the ones where love finds you along the way.